supporters attacking the police pickup trucks. Just before that, we saw a tricycle coming in. The tricycle had some young men who were also brought in as part of the support and solidarity to Chairman Wontumi, who is in the building right now and is being, whether he's being interrogated or he's being detained, we are unable to confirm that. So some party supporters have concerns about the fact that has been reported, but that's a fact. And then we will not back down on that. The fact is that, and you find it in the video that we sent, and that has been played earlier about the attack on the pickup truck by some of the supporters of the New Patriotic Party who have gathered here to show solidarity with the Ashanti regional chairman of the New Patriotic Party who have been detained here at the police CID headquarters. So the party supporters are clearly not happy with the reportage that has gone on. So some clarity will be given here.
My brother, did you just make a statement that we are attacking the police?
No, we reported what just happened with regards to the arrival.
Hold on.
Calm down.
Hold on.
You are live on air.
My brother. You see, we keep saying that in this country, if there will be war in this country, it will come from the journalists. We've been here with you since you in person. Yes. In fact, the security people were attacking you. They say you don't have an ID card. They were forcing you to delete.
So right now, I've been assaulted. I've been assaulted with this pebble, and the assault is captured live on television. I have been assaulted by individuals. Turn the camera. Turn the camera. It's captured live on television. You are live on television.
Can I speak?
You can speak. Let me register it. I'll come back to you. So we are putting it on record that this assault has been captured live on television. I have been assaulted by some of the individuals here, and I'm not just saying it. It's captured right on television.
Okay. So
you want to address it?
Let me clarify this. We've been here with you since 4 p.m. and we've had
assaulted already.
Let me finish. We've been here with you in person. I remember the police and the military and the EOCO officers, they were attacking you. They asked you to delete every footage you took. Is it wrong or right? Were you asked to delete pictures on your phone? Yes or wrong? Correct. What did we do? We came and we stood behind you.
Exactly.
Why are you now reporting that we are rather attacking the police?
I was reporting the fact as has been observed by myself.
So did you report?
That does not warrant an assault on my person.
So did you report to the public that the police or the EOCO staff were attacking you and they took your phone and they made sure you deleted every footage you took? Did you report?
So they made sure I deleted the files. I have reported that.
Have you reported?
Exactly.
So it's on record. Joy News.
I have reported it.
I can get it on your portal.
I said I have reported.
So it's on your portal. When I go on your portal, I'll get this portal.
Let's not go. Let us not engage in this. The unfortunate fact is that you observed an assault on my person. So far, you have not said anything in that regard.
The camera, no.
Which is the fact.
The camera has been on us. The camera can easily take every footage, okay? I stop people from attacking you. It is clear.
Had already assaulted me. And the camera person...
Talk to me. Let me apologize to you. We will not attack you. We are not here to have any quarrel with anybody in the media. Rather, we are working together. You have been here all afternoon and we have been working together.
And you have seen that we have conducted ourselves very, very well here. I'm sure that one you can say. It is rather the security people who have come to make this place this murky as it is now. So first of all, let me apologize to you as the National Youth Organizer that any assault on you is regrettable. It is not any intentional act to attack you. So please, my brother, let's continue to work together. Those who are misbehaving are rather those in authority. They are those showing the misbehavior, and they have misbehaved towards you this afternoon. And this evening, you have seen how they have handled citizens of this country. So I beg you, please, take the apology from me, and let's move from where we are, that we have been working together. Nobody will attack you here. Nobody will attack you.
Unfortunately, that has already been done and has been captured on camera. I take that.
Understand what exactly is happening there.
I'm even surprised whether he's here because he hasn't received any formal invitation from EOCO. You will recall that about 3-4 days ago they attempted arresting him in his house. Whether he was there or not, nobody knows. And there has been instances where people's houses has been raided by so-called tax. That's how I see it, because this is somebody who is a lawful citizen of this country who has never run from any invitation whatsoever. And you saw what happened in Kumasi. He had written to the CID that invited him that he will appear before them. He went there yesterday, was asked to come back today. And after he had lawfully appeared before them, then EOCO, who has never written to him, as far as we know, accosted and adopted him. That's how I see, because you see, this is a government, just as President Mama said, they have a history of militarism. They have a history of adopting and killing people. And this is just an offshoot of the PNDC. And that's exactly what we are saying, because how on earth?
Mr. Bodu, EOCO is a body that your government also worked with. You cannot say it's militarizing our democracy, can you?
EOCO is a body that we work with. Can you give an example where somebody was invited by another agency, security or investigative agency, then EOCO waited around 4 or 5 and just whisked the person away, and we don't know whether he's here or not. You understand? Because I don't think that it is right for us to continue this way. And this path that we are traversing is a path that will not have an end. Because the NDC or Jomama is not going to stay in power forever. And if this is how they are going to treat their political opponents, I don't think that Wontumi, with all the allegations they are saying, is the only person in this country who may have involved himself in whatever, assuming it is true. Why haven't they arrested all of them? We were aware that there are people who were even under investigation and before the law courts. This government decided to set all of them free. So if you can set Opunu and Co free, why not wait and go through proper processes in order to avoid all this noise that we are seeing? What do they want to achieve? If not for political persecution, what else?
So what message are you sending government with you and your members amassing here?
I think that governments have a responsibility and an obligation to implement court decisions. Court of this land has ruled that Ablekuma not constituency elections. Security agencies should provide security for Electoral Commission to declare the results. 5 months after the election, we are still there. We are incapable. Our security is so weak, said that they cannot and they have not been able to declare Ablekuma not constituency elections.
And so in there you saw former General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, John Bwedu, lamenting the situation earlier. And I just want to salute Lateef Idris for his composure while he did that. as a journalist is one of the tricky situations to be in when you have literally a mob, reaching out to you. I will not say attack, reaching out to you from all angles. And if you remember, Lateef Idrisu has been assaulted before at the police headquarters, a matter that is in court. So it gave me chills watching him out there, and I salute him for his composure. Joining us in the studio, we have Nana J. Bafwewa. He's a lawyer and member of parliament for Menchia South. We also have Hamza Suhini. He's a lawyer as well, and with the NDC's Communications Directorate. Of course, Sweetie Abochi is right here with me. For the sake of certain technicalities, I'm going to handle quite a bit of this start of the conversation, and Sweetie Abochi will take it all the way from there. Gentlemen, on the back of what you've seen, let me start with you, Nana J. Bafwewa. What would you make of the different angles? First, EOCO taking on Wontumi, then the crowd and the vandalism of some vehicles belonging to the state, and then the reaction back and forth. EOCO supposedly also had to delete some items from Lateef's phone and all of that. But then the matter of assault, you know better than I do. What's your reflection?
Under the law has the power.
Okay, Nana, we have to do something technically, so please hold for me. Let me come to Hamza. Quick reflections on these matters.
Good morning to you, and of course, my honorable in the studio and our cherished viewers out there. For me, I think that it begs the question whether, as a republic, we are actually willing and ready to allow our processes to work. Because this is not the first time this is happening in relation to the vandalism at the EOCO headquarters. And it is difficult for you to more or less accuse one political party. I think that has been characteristic of our political processes anytime there's a change in government. And for us, this is an opportunity for us to change and reset the country as we promised in the last election. So these acts undoubtedly are condemnable. I only hope that the authorities that are at the helm of affairs will do or will take the necessary action to ensure that they are not intimidated in any way by acts of this nature when it comes to issues of accountability and staying true to the mandate of their establishing acts. So it is important. But vandal attacks on journalists, again, this is becoming one too many. Unfortunately here, I have to appear a little bit partisan. Because remember, on this same table, I've had cause to complain about the conduct of the NPP National Vice Chairman, for that matter, when he was seen on live TV throwing away a microphone belonging to another media house. And I indicated that if we do not act swiftly, it might escalate to something different. Yesterday, what we witnessed was simply because of our failure to condemn the initial acts of the NPP in their at the headquarters of that particular. When the National Vice Chairman decided to violently throw out a media house and their microphones on the table when they were addressing the press, no sane-minded person within the New Patriotic Party condemned that action. The Ghana Journalists Association was quiet. Reputable media houses in this country remain quiet. So why are you surprised that Lateef has been attacked again? Because they were emboldened.
Isn't that a bit of a stretch to say?
It is not, because
someone may have acted in excess and the microphone said this media house, all of that.
No, but you see, I made that point on this platform that if we are not careful, at the next incident, there's going to be personal assault or direct assault. That is what we are discussing today. The gentleman has been assaulted. So it is important for political parties, and you see, it is not just the National New Patriotic Party. Even the National Democratic Congress, there must be laws, punitive measures directed at them when many of these things occur.
Please bring me back
within their premises.
Let's go to the substantive. Let's go to the substantive issue of. Let's go to the substantive issue of Wontumi, which is what started this entire discussion.
I think that
when it comes to his arrest, how do you justify it? I mean, on the back of what we've seen, was it justified?
I think so.
Why?
First of all, I am yet to come across any breach of the law as far as the arrest is concerned.
Why was
EOCO, I'm told that it has to do with his transactions with Exim Bank, Ghana Exim Bank. And I'm sure that you know that under the laws, the EOCO is empowered to carry out such investigations. And so the police initially had to deal with issues related to illegal mining Akonta and Akonta Company Limited, of which he was another interested party. Now, what we are told is that EOCO on its own is investigating his relationship with the Ghana Exim Bank as an individual. And I am sure, and I'm convinced, seated here, that EOCO is clothed with the legal authority to carry out such investigations.
I thought you were about to say you were clothed with information to the fact that he is culpable or he is...
No. If you are being investigated, investigations does not mean that you are culpable as far as the allegations are concerned.
But the NPP,
what the state agency is simply doing...
There had been no invitation. Could this have been conducted in a different way, in inviting maybe Wontumi to appear for some conversations to happen?
It depends on the information that is available to EOCO. We do not know for certain whether indeed there were initial attempts to reach him or not. That is not available to the public. And so until we hear officially from EOCO, it will be erroneous for you to conclude that the arrest was needless.
Before I go to Nanaje Bafwewa, I just want to find out from you, EOCO, per what was reported, asking our reporter to delete certain files and all of that, why do you think that came about and what justifies it?
I monitored your live coverage of the incident last night, but unfortunately, it is difficult for you to authenticate the assertion by Latif. But in any case, if that is the case...
It wasn't an assertion only by Latif corroborated when the
NPP officials also corroborated that.
Actually made mention of it.
For me, like I indicated, I am for anything in favor of media freedoms. And so I would also be interested in knowing why EOCO demanded that such footages be taken down. It is
something you're going to push for?
Why not?
Will you get into the matter?
I will definitely get into the matter. And I can assure you that I will try to get in touch with the officials that be, especially those who are in charge of the investigation, and find out what the real issue, specifically with regards to the deletion of the footages. But you know that there are some regulations when it comes to even taking pictures at certain public places. So
that's why we need to get to the bottom of it. Nanaje Bafwewa, journalism is not a crime. You know, it's becoming really tough in some of these instances. I don't know. I saw you at a point looking at your phone. If you saw the footage, I think you would have felt very uncomfortable if you were in the midst of that crowd. But based on the earlier question, everything you've seen, what do you make of it?
I think all these things were avoidable. Every bit of it was avoidable. It was avoidable the manner in which Chairman Wontumi was arrested. The consequence of it is the crowd that massed up in front of EOCO. It's completely avoidable.
Why do we have to do those things anyway? Those things. You remember with when Adenta Kumi was, and then the General Secretary said, rush to this place and all of that. Can we as politicians stop doing that? Because when Malik Basintali was telling people during the elections, rush here, we spoke about that. Why do we like this thing? Rush here, go there. What do the people do when they get there?
Well, I think that if we begin to change the way we do things, reactions would also change. Actions and reactions are different, but equal, as they put it in science. We need to just change the way we do things. When you don't change the way you do things, it comes across as witch hunting. And the very moment politicians think one of them is being witch hunted, they are likely to come to the defense of the other. And so we just have to change the way we do things. We are over 60 years as a nation, very civilized. We need to begin to make sure we build institutions of state and ensure that they have a certain set of culture which is in conformity with the rule of law. Going to arrest Chairman Wontumi in the manner which happened will not make him guilty.
Right.
Right. Your job EOCO is set up by an act of parliament. Its mandate is set out. And it's reasonably expected that whatever they do, they set out to achieve the object of their mandate, which is provided for under the law. And so if you arrest a person in Rambo style and you end up not achieving your object, you have wasted state resources. If you go quietly, invite him, and then he goes along with you in compliance with your set protocols, and you achieve your object, then you will be celebrated, and people would say you have met or have...
I've heard certain things. I just want you to corroborate. Was Chairman Wontumi invited at any point, or was this the first instance?
Till date.
That was where they...
Till date, EOCO hasn't been able to communicate anything to us. It's been 24 hours.
Whether there had been an invitation.
Exactly. They've not been able to communicate anything to us. In the absence of that, the default is that there was no invitation. And the first time they came in, they interacted with him was in the manner in which they arrested him. Now, my brother said he's been investigated for a loan that he took from Exim Bank. I'm happy.
I mean, there have been other issues mentioned. So.
Well, but he said that primarily is what he made reference to as the basis for the arrest.
But I'm happy it's only one of the issues.
But so far we don't know. But that is what we know. But he's a lawyer, and he's supposed to know better that you don't. When you take a loan, it is not a crime.
Right.
If you default, civil proceedings are instituted for recovery purposes, right? And so I don't think that if this, in fact, is the reason, the sole reason why he's been arrested, then, of course, EOCO is conducting itself in a manner which is unlawful. And we need to ensure that, Benjamin, we encourage state institutions to develop themselves in a manner which is in conformity with, best practices.
Regardless of everything that has happened so far, right?
Yeah.
I have said here that if I broke the law on any count, I wouldn't invite me. Don't come to my home, and I have said that on this platform. But regardless of everything that has happened, if it turns out that there has been any breaking of the law on the part of Chairman Wontumi, would the NPP allow the processes to go forward without this bit about rush here, mass up, and all of that, if the wrong things have been done?
Communication is key. When I started, I mentioned that, for instance, if you had gone to invite him and said you are keeping him for the purposes of investigation, in accordance with the Constitution, you put out your communication, everybody will be aware that he's been handled in accordance with law. At that point, if anybody goes to mass up, then it would seem as though we are being unreasonable. But in the manner in which he was arrested, when you take the view that it is contrary to law, then it becomes very difficult for you to say that people should not go to his aid.
Right.
Let's make sure that we comply with due process of law. This thing hasn't helped. When you are building the democracy, it is not only the success of an election that we should look forward to. We should look forward to building institutions of state and their identity, cultural identity. Like elsewhere, we are not looking for a temporary situation. We are looking for a long-lasting situation. Many years ago, anytime government changed, you will notice that BNI was very busy. When the NPP took over, they pursued certain reforms with the view of making BNI what it is, an intelligence gathering agency.
Right.
Growing it, right, to the stature of top intelligence agencies, intelligence gathering agencies in the world. Okay? Today, BNI has been brought back to the level of investigating political actors.
And now we call it the NIB. Wow.
The NIB.
Okay, so let me just do this. Indulge me for the next 2 minutes. I just want to concretely just summarize this with you, and Sweetie Abachi will take it from there. Since you are talking about reforms and all of these things, you speak about long-lasting change. Let me just tease your brains on this, and finally, I'll start with you, Hamza. I know Mahama Yariga has spoken to the issue of the CJ, which is the next issue that Sweetie will definitely get into, Wontumi and then the CJ. But on the CJ's issue, what are the problems you see? Is she being treated fairly, per everything you know? And if so, why is Mahama Yariga now saying that you are going to look at it in Parliament and even create more comprehensive processes so that moving into the future, certain changes can be brought to bear? Quick thoughts on that. Quick thoughts.
Yes, Ben, before I even get into that, I think that it is proper for me to respond to certain...
Briefly.
Yes, briefly. You see, like my brother indicated, he's a lawyer of reputable standing for that matter. And so it is a dangerous proposition to make when you say that if you consider arrest dramatic or unwarranted, mob action in solidarity or in support is something that ought to be encouraged. Absolutely not. That is why our law courts...
I don't think he was saying that it ought to be encouraged.
You see, he said that you cannot blame people when they amass to support such a person.
Hold for me,
please.
No, hold. Do you condemn what happened, what the NPP supporters did? Do you condemn it? The action, and let me be specific, you're a lawyer, the action of shoving the journalist, someone tapping his head or hitting him and all of that.
All these things you are telling me.
Right.
I wasn't there.
All these things you saw.
No, but how many minutes of the action have you covered?
Yes, but you saw it live.
My brother.
What do those actions in law amount to?
My brother, please. I am very careful not to comment on things that I have witnessed myself.
Okay, so you're not
reason is that we know that reports have always or sometimes wrong. What we see or what is reported sometimes are not what they are.
Thank you.
You see, but interestingly, my brother is relying on reports to conclude that the arrest of Chairman Wontumi...
I did an analysis.
...was unnecessary.
Said that, no,
you let him make
please. You could have done the same analysis when it comes in the same matter of Latif. But you see, like I indicated, it is a dangerous proposition to make when you seek to suggest that the mobbing up of people simply is justified simply because, what's the name, you think that Wontumi was not treated fairly. The law courts are there. Right. If you need to question EOCO's power of arrest, as a legal practitioner, the remedy available to you is to take advantage of our law courts and question him. Do not sit here and encourage people. Then secondly, he made a point that loan is a civil matter. I never on this platform used the word loan, and it was for good reason. I said that interactions or certain engagements with Exim Bank, you and I, we do not know, in the words of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, we do not know the contents of the investigations. And so, for all you know, there are criminal elements. Absolutely. For all you know, there are criminal elements to that particular investigation.
You don't know that for a fact.
Why is it that? I don't know. That's why I'm telling. That is why EOCO is carrying out the investigation. Why is it that in the case of Jakpa and Atufosen, Jakpa was part of the defendants in that particular case?
So
was that not a private business transaction with the government?
Hold your horses.
So we must
let the law take its course.
Yes, the law will take its course. But Ben, I think that it is important for us to let the NPP and our colleagues in there understand that the laws of our country must apply to all of us equally. They must not have any form of special treatment, and they must not be advocating for same.
The CJ is being treated
when it comes to the NPP, they feel that certain things should apply to them. But when it comes to the ordinary Ghanaian and many of us in other different political parties, a certain set of rules should also be applicable to us. That must be condemned.
Treated fairly.